My thesis aims to create a new future for the Navigation Colliery, located in Crumlin, South Wales. I have drawn key lessons from earlier work, notably the Sustainable Studio investigation, which highlighted the value of community endeavour in the creation of a common space where individuals can exchange ideas, learn and develop, and that value cannot be determined solely by reference to economic objectives. A more balanced approach is required. In addition, the pottery project, an investigation into the value of making and experimentation, enabled me to gain a more in-depth appreciation of the true value of handmade objects. Crumlin sits at the heart of the Cardiff City region, a recent economic development construct comprising of 10 local authorities. Crumlin grew rapidly in the early part of the 20th century once coal owners Partridge and Jones sank a mine on a highly valuable steam coal seam that runs under the town. It quickly became a centre for high-quality coal and steel, most evident in the construction of the town's historic viaduct, once the largest in the UK. Partridge and Jones, owners of over 30 mines, designated Crumlin as their flagship site due to the value of the steam coal it produced. Steam coal, when burned, produced clear smoke and therefore enabled naval warships to advance on the enemy undetected, resulting in the naming of the colliery the Navigation. A byproduct of the coal extraction was high-quality fire clay, causing most collieries to have a brickworks located alongside. Partridge and Jones drew upon this quality local resource in creating their flagship site, with the overall aim of exhibiting their considerable status, confidence and ambition in the area. The care and craftsmanship evident in details of the buildings elevated the Navigation Colliery above other collieries, resulting in their listing. It is clear that from the outset it was meant to be more than just another workplace. Today it is regarded by many as one of the best remaining examples of Victorian industrial architecture. Yet, despite its quality, it finds itself on the list of the UK's 10 most endangered historical buildings. Shortly after the pits opened, miners decided to pool resources to create an institute. Like the Sustainable Studio, the aim was to create a common place to learn, share and exchange ideas. It still serves that function today. The Navigation closed in 1967 and has since stood vacant. In recent years, management of the site transferred to a local community group, the Friends of the Navigation, that is trying to bring the buildings back into use. For many decades, Wales's regional development policy has focused employment-related investment within the heads of the valleys and M4 transport corridors. Over time, this has reduced many mid-valley towns to little more than dormitory suburbs. However, things are changing. The latest regional initiative, the new Cardiff City Region Partnership, requires investment to be spread throughout the region and not solely to favour Cardiff and Newport. In the context of the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act, any proposed investment should also now consider the balance of social, economic and environmental value. Crumlin sits at a strategic cross-valleys junction within the South Wales Valleys, making it a suitable location for a multi-nodal transport hub from which the South Wales Metro can operate. It comprises of two residential communities, Soffrith and Treowen. Originally mining communities, they would have interacted in the town centre, however they have never been connected due to the steep topography of the valley. This has meant that over time they have developed independent characters with a strong rivalry, especially between rugby teams. Today, residents would rather drive out of town to easily accessible amenities rather than support local businesses. In addition, unlit pedestrian routes and hard barriers prevent a clear route through the town. When interviewed, Crumlin residents expressed concern about the lack of safe public spaces, local employment opportunities and limited community facilities. My approach seeks to open up the centre of Crumlin, create safe pedestrian routes and to reconnect the Navigation with the town. The proposed metro hub is located in the centre of the town and the harnessing of renewable energy sources, such as mine water, will help move Crumlin towards a carbon-neutral future. The River Ebw is currently contained within a 100-year-old culvert running underneath the site, and the current railway line to Cardiff runs across the site but is blocked off. The dotted line shows the area that I've considered when master planning. My proposals open up the River Ebw for leisure and wellbeing activities whilst using the river water to create a biodiverse wetlands area that will provide much needed safe leisure opportunities. The introduction of a pedestrian metro stop will also bring visitors and workers to the site directly and encourage active travel routes. The colliery site will celebrate the site's and indeed Wales's historical association with the extraction of coal and clay through the creation of an innovative manufacturing facility which will provide local jobs. It is proposed that a community development model will help to balance economic and social activities across the site and allow revenue streams derived from the project to support the wider regeneration of the area. The diagram shows the programme proposed for each building and which activities produce a revenue stream which can be reinvested. I have identified a potential client for the first phase of the development, Team Hour Manufacturing, an organisation that produces innovative natural lime products. The overarching objectives guiding redevelopment of the navigation are to enable learning, sharing and exchange of ideas between experts, visitors and local people. Phase 1 will create an innovation and education centre for producing handmade fire clay products unique to the South Wales coalfield. Incorporation of recycled aggregates such as crushed tiles and glass will allow subtle manipulation of the final product's thermal and structural properties. The facility's kiln will be wood-fired both for sustainable reasons and because wood ash can be used to glaze products in a way that is truly unique and bespoke. Crumlin clay products will be used in both the restoration of the workshops and the regeneration of the wider site and town. The products will create moments of quality along the connecting route between the colliery and the town centre, visually and symbolically reconnecting them. Reflecting the brick tiles of the Victorian era, Crumlin clay products' range of clay bricks and tiles will be carefully detailed. This sample page provides an illustration of the kind of bricks and tiles designed to create quality, bespoke moments within the restored building. Phase 1 focuses upon the workshops located on the site's upper level and partly concealed by adjacent buildings. Despite being open to the elements, the solid masonry structure remains in generally sound condition. However, its close proximity to adjacent buildings and retaining wall prevent natural light from entering the deepest parts of the plan. 3 chimney structures divide the existing warehouse, each with a specific function. The permanent exhibition chimney reflects daylight into the space below and shares the making story of wood-fired ash-glazed bricks. The wood-fired kiln is at the heart of the building and provides heat to fire bricks, but also for the building services through the exchange of waste heat to water. The kiln facilitates the making of small batch runs of bespoke bricks and tiles in the adjacent workshop area. The 3rd chimney is central to the glazing workshop, a smaller space that can be divided to enable the running of specific courses in glazing. Spanning between the chimneys is a gallery walkway providing views through the building. The first floor houses a communal kitchen area and multiple dormitory rooms, each designed to be characterfully different. The building faces onto a maker courtyard where seasonal events are framed by the ground surface textures, and neighbouring buildings house small-scale makers. This drawing shows the separate building components and highlights new from existing structural elements. My design reflects the original in having an elevated central section. The chimney structures have been respectfully inserted between existing trusses, and the proposed vertical extension is supported by a visually different portal steel frame system that transfers loads through columns to the ground, thereby minimising loads on the existing structure. Junctions have been designed to enable visual differentiation between old and new, and components such as existing floors and roofs have been thermally improved in order to improve the overall thermal performance of the building, whilst ensuring that the breathability of the existing fabric. At the centre of the sharing experience, the permanent exhibition chimney celebrates the beauty of imperfection. Made from on-site handmade elements, it speaks of the making process. My inspiration came from an art installation which showcased handmade ceramic pots, glazed in varying shades of white. The exterior faces feature unglazed bricks of dark ash grey and represent the decades of darkness that the colliery lay dormant. Internally, glazed bricks are used and become progressively lighter from bottom to top. The lighter colour is achieved by increasing the percentage of wood ash in the glazing recipe. Each brick batch is differentiated by horizontal profile bricks. Importantly, each brick is characterfully different. The glazing chimney is created through stacking of a single bespoke clay tile. The creation of these tiles will be left in the hands of craftsmen who will apply their expert knowledge, in turn greatly influencing the final result. Learning is central to the purpose of the glazing workshop. The permeable nature of the stacked tile wall enables effective natural ventilation of the space, creating a comfortable and inclusive learning environment. The wood-fired kiln is the heart of the workshop. Producing 1200 degrees C, it not only transforms raw materials into finished products, but its surplus energy will also be used to heat the workshop and surrounding buildings. My thesis reimagines Crumlin as a prosperous and fulfilling town in which future generations can live and work successfully. Central to this objective is the need to rebalance the site's economic contribution with environmental and social goals. Carefully crafted conservation of the Navigation Colliery will provide local employment opportunities and re-establish Crumlin's core identity as a centre for high-quality manufacturing, just as it was 100 years ago.